Hello everyone. Sorry the live stream is live, but Sunday it was too cold and I was absolutely knackered. And yesterday again I was absolutely knackered. I fell asleep, but even if I'd wanted to live stream yesterday, I couldn't have done because I forgot that it was bonfire night. For those that don't know, here in the UK, we on the 5th of November we have bonfire night. We burn bonfires and fireworks. It is to celebrate the gunpowder plot from Guy Fawkes. That's the who was actually born here in York, oddly enough. So everywhere fireworks were going off. Joy. So yeah, I was absolutely exhausted. Luckily, I slept through most of the fireworks, thank God. And then I woke up at about 2 o'clock-ish, and then I was like, oh shit. So that's when I commented on the discussion page, and then I was like, right, let everybody know, back to sleep. Because we've got family coming tomorrow, but we won't see them until Friday, and then I've got my mum coming on Thursday. Talk about manic. Right, so the plan for tonight. One of you guys actually told me about this. I didn't know about this. Let's see if I can find out who it was. This lady's, I think it's a lady, is actually on the Patreon of this particular person. Jess. Hi, Jess. She comments on quite a bit of my stuff, so I haven't actually looked at the video you've linked to me, but the main reason for that is I would rather do the research than watch somebody's opinion on the same thing. Now, what research I have done, and we're going to do some more now, is it's a tricky situation, and when I say that, there's a lot of he said, she said, there's a lot of claims of one thing happening when, and also when you also have to bear in mind, it is on Locale, and half the stuff on Locale is bullshit, and half the stuff that's actually on screen, we know from John Cookie, and can be fabricated. It is incredibly easy to fake text messages. I could even do it myself. I have a phone that the SIM card on it doesn't currently work, which is this one. And then I have my normal phone, which is this one. Right? If I got a SIM card put in this, I could then text myself on this phone, put the name under this as, say, Onision or Jeffree Star, and put that down as them on this, and create a completely fabricated communication. You can also do stuff like this on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on most forms of social media. All you need is 2 accounts. You make an account and a fake account for somebody else, and you duplicate everything you possibly can. Now, that's the only problem. The only time I generally believe that anything like text messages is if A, you show the text messages, and B, you have a third party who knows both people verify that the number in question is the number that belongs to Joe Bloggs or whoever. The only other way I'd do it is if you recorded a video, say, on social media. So I'd say, flip through here, say, if I got some messages off Jake Paul, and I wanted to prove to you, what I'd do is I'd record it, I'd show you on this phone of me recording it with this, doing the up and down motion, and then I will record myself clicking the thing at the top to prove that it's their account. And those that say, yeah, but that can be fabricated, that is true, that can be fabricated, which we have shown in the past. There are ways of proving it, none of which have been shown on here. There are a few accusations which are a bit weird, and we'll get into them. Right, so there's general things, which is like there's lots of things. People are calling him out. I'll show you what I'm seeing. I'll increase the size a sec. Right, so that's a bit too close, right? And we'll go over to here, and then we'll go over to here. So this is one of the locales. I think this is the first one that they created. So these are the claims, apparently. Begs for subscribers for clips of streams. That's normal. I generally don't ask for clips for streams because I'd rather go out and find them myself. Or I'd go and I'd either find the evidence I need myself, or I would direct people to the appropriate video. I've only asked a few times for clips, and it's not something I make a habit of, whereas he does, which is fine. That's the way what's done on his channel. That's fine. Self-proclaimed journalist. Screams of John, unfortunately, because John's a self-proclaimed investigative journalist. Stirred shit by trying to feud with the blog, which is true. Joy Sparkle's White Knight, another possibility. He did do a lot of things to help with her, but there was a bit of a backlash because I know on a live stream she said that she had to copyright strike him for his videos, because I think he was trying to make her look good, but he was unintentionally making her look bad. Decided to sell Realstream News merch at only 2,000 subs. I've known people with 500, 600 subs that have merch. He's currently deleted any comment that tears apart his narrative. Doesn't seem to he'll last long in this world. Then there's a conversation, I think, between Tim finding pretty hard that Sam and Onision are best friends. That is untrue. I've spoken to Sam myself, and Sam doesn't outwardly hate Onision. She pities him more than anything, but they're not friends at all. Mostly harmless. He displays cow potential so far, but it's a breath of fresh air and nothing to do with the streams. He has Joy Sparkles and Josh Vlog's potential, which is true. He's tried to push hard, are still friends, blah blah blah. Here's some proof of him deleting negative comments in his video about masked babes. A lot of people delete comments. I delete comments. I do it all the time. When you have a comment section and people are being aggressive or threatening or nasty, you are well within your right to delete those comments. I do it all the time. During stream, he hosted her and he had no idea, and she had no idea why. Others didn't either. For all we know, he could have been audio hosting to try and intimidate her. Blah blah blah. Behind the man, 100% savage. He does this thing where he dramatically zooms past some of his whatever, and you're so relevant. Hey, I was thinking of streaming me at a club one night with you guys down to see if I can get this video to 100 likes before midnight EST. And I'm done. I don't want to talk about Sam anymore. This is so fucking pointless. Sam was past talking about it when you were going on about it. Sam says he's not talking to Sam anymore, then uploads a video. So, there's that, but there is also an added issue that happened. Let's have a look. I'll go up onto Realstream News 2 because there are allegations. So, which is what Jess wanted me to look at. Realstream News is an autistic amalgamation of the blogger Vex and Iris Poseidon. He's an alleged rapist who has been known to take recordings from here and the blog. He is known to lurk and post on his thread. Currently has beef with the blog, Reginald's Mass Babe, his alleged victim Amber, Onion Flakes Beck, Mike C and Ali. Now, these are the allegations, and there's quite a few. Fairly harmless from the start. Very true. Starts taking content and recording from YouTube and locale, which is true. Spreads his tinfoil about being Greg and Sam being friends, which they're not. This is true. Releases a video about Mike C and how she was treated by Lainey for having her card declined during the stream. I'm not sure what that's referring to, and if Lainey treated somebody badly, I'm not going to say I'm surprised because I'm not. Caps of him complimenting where Maxie's news were released. This tits though it means and so whatever. Somebody's nudes leaked. That's not a funny thing, but unfortunately it happens. Touch wood, none of mine have. Not that there is any, but even if there was, they haven't, so it's fine. Beef with Reginald starts after his interview with the Rag. Rag mentions his addiction to heroin. CJ denies ever being on drugs. Apparently that's Realstream's real name is CJ. If he has been on drugs, that's not a huge issue. There's quite a few people on YouTube that are former drug addicts. Another one being Vegan Cheetah. There are, even here in the UK, we have a very famous celebrity that's a former drug addict, Davina McCall. And for those that actually do get over the addiction and do get better from the addiction, yeah, it's great. And if they have gotten better, it's not something to be taken, it's not something to be belittled or taken the mick out of. It's something that should be celebrated. And that's the end of that. DMs between Sam and Realstream News and released by the blog, surprises a pushy out. So that was because he asked her for a snippet of one of her Twitch live streams, and she refused to do it for him because he wanted a specific section, and she said no. She said, if you want to do it yourself. I'm not doing it. Which I can kind of understand. At the time, Sam was dealing with a lot because the whole thing with Greg had just happened, and I was messaging her on Twitter, and she was lovely with me, and I can't understand why he was being so pushy. If she said no, then either get one of you guys to do it or you do it. Rag hosts another live stream with Realstream News. Realstream News fails for bait about Rag being a rapist. Unfortunately, this is a claim that does get thrown a lot on YouTube. If you do something people don't like, the first two things they will throw at you is either you're a rapist or you're a child rapist. Neither should ever be thrown without evidence, which we'll get on to soon, I promise. Face reveal is ugly as sin. Someone could say that about me. Begins interviewing active Snowflake. Starts off with Poopbeck. Onion Flakes, basically uneasy on snowflakes. Those that get upset if you do anything that doesn't say that Greg's the most wonderful thing on the planet, which he isn't. Takes more content and self-posts more. Interviews Ali, whichever. His channel Realstream News gets copyright strikes and taken down by Onion. That isn't a surprise because that's Onision. Starts a new one called Realstream, which is owned by Forever Scene Productions, aka Realstream News. Opens a Discord server, which I think is what Jess is on. Bans Mass Babe for recording a conversation and posting a video about it. It happens everywhere. He shouldn't have banned her for that because he can, well, yeah, he actually can, because it's his forum. And if somebody records it and then releases it without his knowledge, that can be a bit upsetting, so I understand why he's done that. Discord continues to be a mess. I don't know because I'm not on his Discord. Flies out Amber has a stream with her drinking while she's underage. Now, I don't know where Real Stream is based, but from what I've heard, Amber was 20. So in this country, she was legal to drink. So, to me, the age of drinking being 21 is a bit weird. I do know there is talk of them doing it over here, but it isn't currently being done in this country. This country, you have to be 18 or over to drink. And a lot of people, if I was drinking when I used to get a glass of wine at Christmas, a glass of wine at New Year's, and then a couple of drinks of beer or something if we had people over, but like a couple of mouthfuls of beer, but nothing much. But because I had that bring up, I've never gone binge drinking, and I also used to have, not know if I still do, but I used to have a high alcohol tolerance. So, and like I said, it was never restricted. I was always allowed to drink, I just weren't allowed to drink a large amount. I've never felt the urge to just go out and get absolutely rot-arsed. A few days pass, Craig and Amber go on a stream about how they hooked up. Amber's in tears, stating she said no twice. Again, if this is true and it was an actual rape, then that's not okay. However, there is an explanation behind this. And there's a lot of ways to look at this, which I'll get to eventually. Grammy helps him get the fuck out of Dodge. CJ proceeds to livestream and post videos about how he didn't rape her. Stays offline for 2 weeks, though posts evidence on lockout recordings of Discord video chat when released. Comes back with edgy video disproving absolutely nothing and opens a new Discord server. Streams every day complaining of people he has beef with and how he's planning to sue. Reveals that he was lying about his previous history with drugs. Fine. This is somebody... Oh, this is a supposed receipt about a payment for a donation or whatever, and then people are saying, yeah, but that's not a valid PayPal receipt because it isn't, and that this is how you make free receipts. And if you look at this bottom bit here, is where it looks the same. That's not what a PayPal receipt looks like. Please be less obvious with your fake receipts. Us next time. No PayPal results look like that. Meal Street, just a heads up, I never got your video taken down, never watched it, and haven't seen this new one either. Don't plan on it or trying to strike it. I have no idea what you are saying in it, but if you are saying that I am going to jail or anything like that, then you think you have the full story. You're wrong. I'd be careful. This isn't a topic worth being wrong about. There's a reason I'm not saying much, and it's not going to stay that way. So if you want to enjoy the short run praise, do you just really realise it's not going to be long. One more thing. When I do speak up, I'll never bring you up again. Now, yesterday you threatened on ruining her channel. Great joke, blah blah blah. He's streaming, let's see how long he goes without talking about Mass Babes. Since last night he talked about her solid blah blah. Yeah, I totally agree with the reason why he didn't rape Bez. Anyone is the same reason. Why didn't Elliot Rodger didn't have sex with a prostitute when he went to Vegas with his father? Nobody wanted a real relationship. not pay for sex, would he wanted the person to want him, not a mate, blah, whatever. He's been searching like crazy for his. I've been searching, can't find it. Pill bottle aesthetics, that could just be an antibiotic. A friend just came over to my house. He said if he shoots up heroin, he might make me blah blah blah. That's him talking about his past. This could be easily faked, and this is based. I've actually read the conversation, and it is a conversation where he's saying, I didn't rape her. This other person is saying, yeah, you did. She said no playfully, and yes twice. You get it. And during it, she said she had a rape fantasy. What do you think about that? Sounds like it's like a setup to me, which is entirely possible. Basically, he's invited this relative nobody to on his stream. They find out that he has a following, and it's like, it's why so many people accuse celebrities of rape. Now, I'm not saying this guy's a celebrity because he isn't, but there are a lot of unfortunate times where things like this do happen, and we don't know if he has proof to back this up. There's also an instance where somebody he knew apparently raped somebody, but he says no, he didn't. But she was under 18. And somebody said, yeah, but he should have checked. And it's like, yeah, but we all thought she was over 21 because her mum dropped her off at a club. So, to me, the age of consent is alright, and that does cause a lot of issues. It's there for a reason, and I'm one of the people that say it should be there. To me, it should be planet-wide, it should be 18. It's just my opinion. But when you have people saying that they are over a certain age, and in circumstances that would denote that they're over a certain age, people don't instantly think they're 16. When I was 16, I looked like I was 22. Granted, now I still look like I'm in my 20s rather than my 30s. But when because I've always been quite voluptuous, code word for fat, because I've always been being curvy for a large portion of my life, and I've had these huge things on my chest since I was 9, everybody always thought I was older. And that might be the case with this girl, where if something had happened to me, if I'd gone into a relationship with somebody in his late teens when I was, say, 14, and he thought I was 16 or 18, bear in mind here in the UK the age of consent is 16, then I don't agree with people that are charged with statutory rape being added to the sex offenders list, depending on the age of the victim. If, say, he's 19 and she's 17, obviously not here in the UK but somewhere else, and her parents find out she's having sex with this guy, so they charge him with statutory rape. Because of that, he gets put on a sex offenders register. But all he was doing was having a relationship with somebody that he thought was over 18. And if they can prove that she said she was over 18, I don't agree with them being put on the sex offenders registry. But again, where these are, in one instance, we're talking about a situation that was never recorded. The girl has said she said no. And while that is a factor and should be believed, I do think that there may be more to the story. I'm not saying she's lying. What I'm saying is maybe she had told him previously that she had a rape fantasy. So that when she was saying no, and she was meaning no, he was thinking she was doing the rape fantasy, so he carried on. When he should have actually stopped and said, look, are you saying no because you don't want to do it, or are you saying no to play on the rape fantasy? And then hopefully she'd answer honestly. So on that front, it's his fault for not saying, this is what's wrong, why are you saying this, why is this going on? He should have stopped and said, right, is this the rape fantasy? He said, are you saying no because it's part of the rape fantasy, or are you saying no because you actually want me to stop? He should have done that, and he's wrong for not doing that. And she's since turned around and said that she said no and she meant no, which means that technically it is rape. But on his defence, because she has a rape fantasy, he was playing into the rape fantasy, or at least he thought. But from what I've read, although the guy on some ends did help bring to account a lot of issues, I do think he needs to take a step back off for a little bit, because apparently this situation's just all kinds of fucked up. So I do think that there are a lot of questions that need to be answered by the victim and by him. I do think that if he says she has a rape fantasy, he needs to prove it. And if she says she hasn't, then she needs to reveal her text messages with him, reveal her DMs with him, so that she can say, look, this is everything. Because we don't know what has been said behind closed doors between the two. Whether he's doing this to gain notoriety, because that's what some people do. They start drama. And this is probably the worst type of drama you can start, because everybody's accusing you of one of the worst things on the planet. And your friend, he needs to... Realstream News' his friend, the one that got done for, or could potentially get done for statutory rape, then he needs to reassess his situation and reassess his ideas. Because if you're messing with a girl whose mother drops her off, that's a hint that she's not 18. Because, well, then again, when I used to go drinking, my dad used to pick me up at the end of the night. But that's beside the point. Being my stepdad, not my real dad. So I think in this instance, it is a bit of a dodgy situation for CJ to be in. And the fact that he's pushed himself to be this pillar of excellence and stuff. And then a lot of things are starting to come out now that aren't so great. You need to be mindful of that. I've always said that there are things that I've done in my past that I'm not 100% proud of, but I will admit them if and when they come up. I'm not saying I've raped anybody, because I haven't. I've never done anything like this. Let's just say it's, I was in my 20s and leave it at that. But I've never done anything like this. I've never accused anybody of rape when they didn't. I've never even threatened to do so. I've never been in a situation where I've seen that happen, where a person, an else accused person, be of rape when it potentially didn't happen. These accusations are not nice ones to throw around. So if they're false, then the lady in question needs to fix herself real sharp. If they're not, then she needs to step up and go to the police. But if she does, and she's faking, she's saying that she was raped when she wasn't, then that is going to come out as well. And with it being the type of situation that it is, where he's saying she has a rape fantasy, but he's not providing proof, but she's not providing proof that she doesn't. It's a tricky situation, and Hi, Red Feather. I have no idea what's going to happen. I do think that CJ needs to go back, step back offline, step back off social media, and if he is a recovering addict, then he needs to concentrate on that for a short time, because he's putting himself in worse and worse situations where things like this can happen. There's also speculation that they did a video before the rape that he was going to rape her, and then, which to me would make it seem like it was a work. For those that don't know wrestling terms, that basically means that it's fake. It's a weird situation, and we'll just have to see how it plays out. But this guy, he's weird. He's creepy. I've never hidden my face on either channel, because I have a craft channel as well. I've never hidden my face. I've never hidden it on YouNow. I've never hidden it on Twitch, ever. Even though I don't have the best face on the planet. I don't. I admit I don't. I know you get a lot more people liking stuff if you actually show your face, as opposed to a general view of either an avatar or you wearing a mask or putting your hand over your mouth. And if you're going to talk shit, at least show your face. No, at least, for all I call Joy out, one thing I will say is she's never hid her face. Ever. As long as I've known her. I don't agree with hiding your face online. If you do this sort of stuff, at least have the goals and the balls to actually show your face. Because at the end of the day, people are going to trust you less if they can't see the expression on your face. So, but yeah, there's a lot of other stuff going on that I haven't talked about. I know Joy, not long ago, had a few. She'd had a few. Strikes on her channel that have since passed, so she can stream now. But I want to know what the strikes were for. But I don't think she ever said. I know Onision's pretty quiet at the minute, and he has been doing a lot of redemption stuff. He did a live stream with Jacqueline, and he actually seemed quite genuine. I still don't trust him though. John is pretty quiet, but it's coming up to December, so that might change. For those that don't know what that is referring to, where have you been for the last 2 years? The last 2 years, every Christmas, he's accused a certain person of a certain thing. Let's see if he does the same this year. And if he does, I won't rip him a new one. So he's been pretty quiet. Shane's taking time off, which I agree with, because the guy works too hard. A lot of people say, don't work hard enough, he only does a couple of videos every 3 months. Fuck off. Those videos take a lot of editing. What else is there? There's the midterm election going on in the US. It should be fun. I did a video on Chris Benoit of disproving some of the conspiracy theories about him, and it got struck by WWE. So I've deleted it, and I'm gonna go into my editing software in a minute, take out all the WWE bits, and then link them in a playlist for you guys, so you can see what I mean. But there's one where he has a head injury, one where he has a seizure, and then there's another one. For God's sake, one where he had where he has a botch. Well, there's a couple of botches, and then there's a head injury. I think I'll be alright with the Musty Spice, and I think I'll be alright with the Jericho podcast. I think it's just the WWE bits. So I'm going to jump into that in a sec and sort that out. I think tomorrow, which is Wednesday, which is video day, you will either get that or the disproving the Sandy Hook conspiracy theories. So while I contemplate other video topics to discuss, because I'll probably record them tomorrow because we'll be picking them up on Thursday. So I hope to get some inspiration for videos tonight, so I'll be scouring YouTube after I log off. But yeah, either tonight or tomorrow I'll sort the Chris Benoit video out for you guys so that you can watch it. So yeah. But other than that, that's everything that's going on. I'm going to come off and sort this Chris Benoit stuff out. And then I'm probably going to do promo and crash, go to sleep. Then I'll go through some potential video topics. But yeah, it's a weird situation, and there's a lot of people saying certain things, and a lot of the time you don't. Especially online, you are reluctant to believe a lot of stuff because there are so many times where somebody accuses somebody of raping it's falsely, and we don't know the full instance. So I do believe that the way he behaved wasn't great, but I do believe there is a lot more into the story than we are being told. That's just me. Anyway, stay safe, be good, have fun, and I will see you very soon.